In this section, we're going to install Rails. Let's move things around a little bit before installing it. I'm going to move this up a little bit, close this down, close this. And now there's one little bit of configuration to set up before installing Rails. Rails, like a lot of Ruby software, is distributed as self-contained packages called gems. Now, by default, those gems install a lot of documentation on the local system, in this case, the Cloud IDE. But it's usually more convenient to get that documentation online, and most people I know never use the documentation, and yet it's quite time-consuming to install. So we're going to add a little bit of configuration to tell our system not to install that documentation. We'll do this by creating a file called .gemrc. Here I'm using the command line to print out a statement using the echo command. Gem no document, and then this is the append operator, and if the file doesn't already exist, it will just create it. We can inspect it using cat, and there it is. And now we're ready to install Rails. It's very simple because Ruby is already installed on the system, and Ruby automatically comes with the gem package manager. We can install Rails using the gem command. And now we're going to specify the exact version of Rails. Now, you should not necessarily use the version that you see here. You should use the version that's in the text. And this is part of a general principle. If the screencasts ever disagree with the text, you should always go with the text because the text is so much easier to update. So at this point, the most recent version of Rails is 6.0.0. So -v for version. And there we go. Ready to install. Looks like it worked. We can check by doing Rails -v, which will return the version number. And there we go. There's one more bit of configuration, which is to install Yarn, a program to manage software dependencies. The easiest way to do this is to run a command that I've set up on the Learn Enough Content Distribution Network, or CDN. This command is a little advanced, but it should just work if you copy and paste. I'll paste it in here. You can see it goes from cdn.learnenough.com, yarn install. And that's it. The Cloud IDE is now fully configured for Ruby on Rails web development.